From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, June 24th. Weather-wise, a nice, pleasant day. To start, the humidity is creeping up a bit today. Will be warmer with highs in the mid-80s. But most of the day is going to be really nice and sunny. Rain could start later tonight, like late tonight, with better chances for rain for your Friday. All right, we were following breaking news all morning long. Still happening right now. This morning, early overnight hours, 2:30 in the morning, there was a huge partial condominium tower collapse in Miami, Florida. This is about 6 miles north of South Beach, another beachside town. It's terrifying. So far, we know that one person died. We watched video of a young boy being pulled out alive from rubble. I mean, it's 1/3 of this giant condominium tower that collapsed here. It's a huge portion. The ground is buckled. There are cars that are on there kind of unlevel, kind of leaning. It's terrifying to see. More than 100 people are out as part of the rescue operation. Right now they have dogs out smelling through rubble to see if they pick up on any other scents that somebody might be trapped down there. The mayor of the town is saying that right now they're not sure how many people were inside at the time, but they do think that the tower was at near full capacity. That he said many people were inside at the time. He's applauded the heroism of the first responders, and right now, just hours into this, hours more ahead of going through the rubble, he said that the building just pancaked as it fell. There is a reunification center that's been set up. We have the phone number for you online at wishtv.com. If you know of anybody who lived there that you either know is safe, you're asked to call. If there is somebody who you're looking for, you're also asked to call. And that is where all of that information is. So just keep that in mind. This is something that's going to be developing all throughout the day. Several people were treated on scene for injuries. There were several others taken to the hospital. So just check back at wishtv.com for all of those updates. And moving forward, senators on both sides of the aisle say there is an agreement on a bipartisan deal on an infrastructure plan. This morning, there is hope on the Hill that it will get the green light.
We're very excited about the prospect of a bipartisan agreement.
Things are going full speed ahead. A big meeting is set for today. The federal plan could impact your morning commute and roads right here in Indiana. The hope would be money to help projects like the North Split overhaul. So the plan is a bipartisan deal that a group of senators and the White House have apparently agreed to. Both sides will meet with the president today, and they sound optimistic.
Republicans and Democrats have come together along with the White House, and we've agreed on a framework, and we're going to be heading to the White House tomorrow.
We had a very good meeting. We got into quite a bit of detail. We're all on the same page. Both tracks, the bipartisan track and the budget reconciliation track, are proceeding apace, and we hope to have voted on both of them in the Senate and the House in July.
So here's what we know so far about the infrastructure plan. The total cost is $1.2 trillion over the next 8 years. That includes $579 billion in new spending. We're talking improvement to roads, bridges, water systems, technology, climate-related measures, manufacturing, research and development, and the caregiving economy. But how will they finance the plan? It's not clear. The senators have struggled over how to pay for the new spending. The White House said that Democratic senators agreed on Biden's goal of infrastructure investments without raising taxes on anyone who makes under $400,000. Republicans have refused to allow any new tax increases to finance their plan. So we'll see what pitch goes to the president. He invited lawmakers to the White House today ahead of a 2-week Senate recess that starts tonight. And this morning, we were following more breaking news out of Florida, this time out of Daytona Beach. A massive manhunt is underway right now for a man police say shot an officer in the head. Overnight, the police chief announced that more than 500 officers are in the area searching for Othel Wallace. Daytona Beach police believe Wallace could be traveling in a gray 2016 Honda HR-V with a California tag. Now, the department shared a clip of body camera video. It says that Wallace was wearing a yellow shirt. There's now a $100,000 reward out for information on where he is. The department says that the officer responded to a suspicious incident just before 9 last night. The officer stopped answering other units calling him on his radio, and shortly thereafter, that's when officers found him on the ground. The officer was taken to a local hospital in critical condition. We do know that he is out of surgery this morning, but not clear on what the condition of that officer is. So certainly something else we'll keep you posted on. Today, IMPD Chief Randall Taylor says he is set to meet with the FBI to go over the agency's findings in the FedEx mass shooting. The chief's briefing on the case comes more than 2 months after 8 people were shot and killed at the Indianapolis facility. IMPD said Brandon Hull is the shooter. According to police, he then took his own life after the killings on April 15th. Neither IMPD or the FBI has shared a motive in the shooting.
Enough. That means Congress passing sensible gun prevention, violence prevention initiatives is worried. It makes sense. Background checks, ban on assault weapons, repeal of the liability shield for gun manufacturers. It means the Senate reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act.
President Biden is calling on Congress to start enacting new gun control laws. He's working to reduce crime across the United States. Biden's plan focuses on giving money to cities that need more police and offering community support. News 8's Demi Johnson reports the mayor of Indianapolis hopes the effort can lead to tougher laws.
It's a routine path for Indianapolis leaders. But during this neighborhood walk, they're focused on a specific community.
Well, this is different because every once in a while you'll get a neighborhood that's fine.
Mayor Joe Hogsett and Chief Randall Taylor say they wanted to spend more time with members of the Sikh religion following the FedEx mass shooting where several of its members were killed.
It's really a pretty good area, but as the mayor's pointed out, we pick a different spot every month. And it was the right timing for this.
Their timing comes as the city faces record-breaking violence, an issue nationwide also addressed by the president Wednesday. We asked Mayor Hogsett how Biden's plan could impact Indianapolis.
I have not been invited to the White House to participate, but I'm very encouraged that the president is taking a leadership role in terms of getting the guns out of hands of people who have no legal business or no legal right to possess them.
He says there's only so much that can be done on the ground and that new laws have to pass to help local leaders.
There is no more important issue facing not just Indianapolis, frankly, but the country as a whole than gun violence today.
Hogsett says the city has already received half of its $420 million in American Rescue Plan funds. He hopes to devote a major chunk to crime prevention.
We're still reviewing the Department of Treasury guidelines as to how the federal government will allow us to utilize those funds. So we haven't made any final decisions about how those funds are going to be distributed and who to. But it won't surprise you to know that if I have anything to say about it, there's going to be a significantly greater investment, and we're already making historic levels of investment to public safety.
I'm Demi Johnson for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And this morning, the FDA is finalizing the warning that will be added to COVID-19 mRNA vaccines about the risk of myocarditis and pericarditis. Vaccine advisors to the CDC are stressing that the benefits of the vaccines outweigh the risk of heart inflammation in adolescents and young adults.
For the most part, those cases are rare, 300 out of 20 million. They are mild. They are generally what we say self-limited, or they go away with standard care, with minimal amount of care. And all of these people tend to do very well.
The Department of Health and Human Services tweeted a statement saying the facts are clear. Myocarditis and pericarditis in young people, while rare, are much more common as a result of getting COVID-19 than from receiving a COVID-19 vaccine. Vaccines remain the best way to protect against COVID-19 and its effects. A vaccine pop-up clinic will be open for walk-ins today in Indianapolis. The site opened at 9 o'clock this morning, and it will run until 3 this afternoon. It's on 33rd Street near Post Road on the east side. Health officials are offering the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson shots. And the Biden administration may extend the eviction moratorium one more month. It's supposed to expire June 30th, but officials familiar with the matter tell CNN that the White House wants to buy more time to get federal rent relief to people who need it. 6 million families are behind on rent. That's according to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition. This would be the 4th time the CDC moratorium is extended. The Treasury Department is also expected to issue new guidance on how to distribute billions of dollars in housing assistance. Health officials are not sure whether COVID-19 vaccine booster shots will be necessary. Members of the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices say more data is needed before making a decision. The committee is looking at so-called breakthrough cases among seniors. The term is for people getting the virus who are fully vaccinated. All 3 companies with approved vaccines in the United States are working on booster shots. And today, the White House's nationwide vaccine effort makes a pit stop in Indiana. U.S. Secretary of Labor Marty Walsh will be visiting the vaccination site at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It'll be from noon to 2 at the IMS Museum. So we took a look at the numbers. As of this morning, less than half of the people in Indiana 12 years or older are vaccinated. According to the state's COVID dashboard, 47.4% of people have received both doses. Lucas Oil Stadium will no longer be the official home of the NFL Combine. Wish TV sports director Anthony Calhoun confirmed that the NFL is opening up bidding for other cities to host the annual event starting in 2023. Indianapolis city leaders tell Newsnight that they will submit a bid at that time. Indy will still host the Combine next year. It's been in the city since 1987 and brings in around $10 million a year. The city of Westfield confirms that staff had discovered spyware installed on city computers. Now, an argument about what to do next may cost taxpayers. IT Mate's Richard Essex explains how a controversial audit led to the discovery and what's next for Westfield.
The spyware was found on all the computers in the city of Westfield clerk treasurer's office. This particular software allows remote access to all the information that's stored in that office. That includes more than a dozen city bank accounts, personal information for city employees and taxpayers. The clerk told me that she never gave permission to anyone to install the software, and she doesn't know who has access to sensitive city information held in her office.
I'm responsible for all the records for the city of Westfield, financial, payroll, sensitive information. And I don't know who's been in it. I don't know how many times they've been in it. I don't know what, if any, damage has been done.
Cindy Gossard is the elected clerk treasurer in Westfield, and she doesn't send emails on her work computer.
We just worry about the files that, when we enter things. I mean, because this would even give them access to the city's bank accounts. I mean, we just don't know. So it's very concerning.
She is leery of using her computer for just about anything. So much so that she hired an IT professional who found spyware on every computer in her office. Spyware, she says, that was installed by the city's IT department in November of 2020. She found it at about the same time the mayor of Westfield sued her. Vicki Duncan Gardner, the communications director for Westfield, explains.
So last summer there were some comments about fiscal mismanagement. So the mayor said, let's do a real, legitimate financial investigation into all city processes, all accounting. Let's just do it. He legally, by statute, brought in an accounting team, which includes a law firm, an accounting team, and then a law firm that also just helps manage. So that is what's been happening.
The mayor claims in the lawsuit that Gossard had not handed over all the paperwork needed for a financial investigation.
He wanted unfettered, complete access for he and his staff into the city's financial systems. And he said that I wasn't giving the review team the information they've requested.
Gossard would not say the mayor ordered the spyware installed in her office, but she does point out that the city's IT department is under the mayor's control. Scott Shackelford is an associate professor of business law and ethics at Indiana University. He says the clerk should have been notified.
I think, yes, ethically that is an issue. Spyware installers have an ethical obligation to users to obtain informed consent for the collection and use of personal information. And if that wasn't being done in this case, then that is problematic. Sometimes in the private sector, you don't see that happening. But a lot of cybersecurity and data privacy is not black letter law, right? A lot of it's operating in these gray areas, which is why ethics is so important.
The mayor's office says the new software is really the same software the city has had for years, just under a different name. And the one thing that is clear, the rift between the two highest elected officials here in the city of Westfield has cost taxpayers thousands of dollars in lawyers' fees, IT consultants, and outside auditors. In Westfield, Richard Essex, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
INDOT is holding a job fair at its Indianapolis sub-district. The department's website shows equipment mechanic and highway maintenance technician positions are open right now. The event is at the facility on Brookville Road near Shadeland Avenue. It starts at 10 this morning. It runs till 3. According to INDOT, pay starts at $19 an hour with a chance for $20 an hour with a commercial driver's license. Britney Spears is pleading with the judge to end her conservatorship. The singer is calling the legal guardianship over her abusive. Spears spoke during a status hearing yesterday. Fans showed up outside the courthouse. They showed their support, holding Free Britney signs, clearly a movement that's been going on for quite some time. Spears told the judge how the legal arrangement is holding her back in life. She says she's not allowed to get married or have another child, two things that she says she wants to do. The singer's father, Jamie Spears, has been the conservator over her estate since 2008. The Carmel Arts and Design District is celebrating Black heroes and heroines with a new mural. According to the city, the art's part of a collaboration between current and former high school students and Indianapolis-based artist Israel Solomon. So the people featured are from Indiana or had an impact on the state. The artwork's being installed on the north-facing wall of a building on 1st Street Southwest next to Burger House. In your multicultural spotlight, a local theater company is expanding to the building next door. News 8's multicultural reporter Katira Winfrey explains how the project will expand the legacy and impact of the Fonseca Theater.
The Fonseca Theater opened its doors last year. Historically, Haughville has been a predominantly Black and immigrant community, groups that often don't see themselves on the stage. To help change that, the theater is expanding, but they'll need a little more help. Representation matters in life, and if you ask Merlin Bell, it also matters on the stage.
To be able to serve the Black and brown, the Latinx, and the many different faces and colors here in the community, it's definitely rewarding.
Basel Collaboration Center, just off Michigan Street in Haughville, houses the Fonseca Theater, named after its founder, Brian Fonseca. 80% of the theater's company of artists are people of color, much like the surrounding community.
Before that, we were doing apologies, which was talking about issues of what it is to be Black, what it is to be queer. Definitely themes that really touch on the heartstrings of many different people here in Haughville and across the city of Indianapolis.
Bell is the managing director. He, along with the rest of the team, is moving forward with a plan to raise money for the Brian Fonseca Legacy Fund. After sitting vacant for decades, it'll help rehab this space next door to become somewhat of a community activity hub.
As you see here, it's a blank canvas right now, but so many unique things are going to happen here.
Bell says it will also house educational programming, drama classes, a bilingual storytelling series, and much more. They're already halfway to the $500,000 goal it'll take to get it done.
It's everyone picking up that torch and running with it and further expanding what Brian wanted in his overall vision, which was community engagement and community understanding and fair equity.
Due to the pandemic, they are still holding performances outside. Theater representatives say their summer play series is the season of hope, with one production wrapping up next week. Reporting in the studio, I'm Wish TV News 8's multicultural reporter, Katira Winfrey.
And this morning, we got our first look at a ranking of the most American-made cars. So taking into account assembly location and part origin, Cars.com made the ranking system. Tesla took the first and third spots for its Model 3 and Model Y. Ford ranked second with the Mustang. And when you look at Indiana-made vehicles, you've got to go farther down the list. Toyota models from the Princeton plant ranked 37th and 59th. 4 of the Subaru models made in Lafayette came in 70th, 71st, 72nd, and 76th. And construction is underway on a new boutique hotel on Washington Street, downtown Indy. We've told you about Hotel Indy earlier this week. And there's a lot going on inside. Newsday Stan Klein has a look at how developers are transforming the building.
And this is the Cannonball Lounge. Located
a 5-story building, for the first time in its 52-year history, has a 6th story. Hotel Indy, a $30 million project bringing 90 rooms, along with the city's only rooftop bar downtown.
We get to reap the benefits of turning basically a cement cube into something warm and fuzzy on the inside.
Throughout, there's an intentional nod to the city's past, and especially racing. The Cannonball Lounge, named for the first winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Holman Restaurant on the ground floor. The chandelier comes straight from the Historical Society. About a century ago, it hung in the Globe Outlet, a variety store in this very wholesale district, part of the Brandon block. Hotel Indy's director of sales, Tina Crawford, says the vision is to be a place that's all things, well, Indy.
There was a need for that. So a lot of people come into town, but there's not a hotel that just talks to Indianapolis and what makes Indianapolis so great.
Every time a hotel comes online, all the competitors up their game.
Which is why Bob Schultz with Downtown Indy Inc. says it will be a good thing for consumers, and it's not a case where there are too many hotel rooms downtown.
Indianapolis is still a very strong draw for conventions, and it will be for those large group business as well as the leisure activity.
And while the city-county building and transit center have not been hubs of development, with the county jail moving soon and the likely closure of the downtown heliport, as we told you last week, he believes Hotel Indy is seizing that opportunity and could be the beginning of a resurgence in the area.
And when the jail moves out and a lot of those parcels become open, that's prime development in downtown, and they're going to be in the center of it all already.
And that's the idea. Using a concrete cube that's now 6 stories tall, not 5, with a rooftop bar to boot.
One little spark will spur lots of other things to happen. So we hope to be that.
I'm Dan Klein for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook.
Hotel Indy will be a tribute portfolio by Marriott property. It's expected to open in October. And remember, we are your home for the Indy 11. The boys in blue are on the road in Louisville Saturday night. We've got your way to watch. You can watch the 11 and Louisville City FC live on My Indy TV 23. The match starts at 7:30. And finally, to some business headlines. Indianapolis internet speeds jumped between early 2020 and early 2021. HightspeedInternet.com says the download speeds rose by 83%. On the other hand, Fort Wayne had one of the slowest internet speeds in the nation. New jobless claims are expected to resume their decline after a surprise jump last week. 380,000 filings are expected versus 412,000 during the prior week. Last week's unexpected increase in new jobless claims ended a 6-week streak of improvements in initial filings. Many economists suggested last week's uptick was likely an aberration rather than the start of a new trend. The Haas Avocado Board is forecasting a 5.8% decline in avocado shipments during the third quarter compared with last year. A Truist analyst wrote in a note to clients that fewer avocado shipments could put pressure on Chipotle's margins. Avocados are more popular than ever and in big demand. Most new wind and solar projects will be cheaper than coal, a new report finds. Almost 2/3 of wind and solar projects built globally last year will be able to generate cheaper electricity than even the world's cheapest new coal plants. It's according to a report from the International Renewable Energy Agency. And Uber Eats added a disclosure to its food delivery app saying menu items prices may be higher than those charged by restaurants. The disclaimer will only be shown to customers in Pennsylvania and Washington, D.C., after the attorneys general there pressed for a concession from the company. The move comes amid growing frustration from consumers wrangled by high fees from the food delivery companies. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast.
The News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.